Okay, happy Friday, everybody. It is January 24th, 2024. We're going to go ahead and jump back here. Let me just get rid of that and close this guy out. So let's take a look at yesterday. So yesterday was another day where we didn't have any clues for the bears. And typically when we don't have any clues for the bears from the overnight highs or whatever major high we made the day before, it typically means we're going to push and make a new high, or at least retest the high from the day before, the overnight high, and then maybe get a pullback from there. So when we came in this yesterday morning, we were expecting the market to continue to push, right? And I do have to say this before we start, just because we expect the market to go long doesn't mean it's going to. So our trading is conditional, right? If they get back below some key levels here, we get back below our moving averages, it ends up becoming a market that might end up being a good thing to short. But we held from VWAP. We'll get into the details here because it was a pretty sexy morning. Right out of the open here, I was kicking myself because I watched this setup and I didn't try it. Mostly because we were kind of just coiling up inside of here, and I wasn't confident in just taking the level. But we did have all the signs of a bounce from the roadmap level to the tick, right? So coming out of the open here, bounces out off the VWAP and comes right to the level. And you can see all this bullish divergence forming as we were testing it. And then that final test, which was one tick through the level there, we get another bullish divergence forming from there. And then that was the low of the day. So once again, the low of the day is our roadmap level to the tick. And then from there, we got the bounce out. Now, you guys know what I did. I got short up top here. Again, going kind of against the bias I gave you guys into the open, only because I expected a potential pullback from here to come down maybe into hopeful or a little bit deeper before they actually went ahead and went in the direction we wanted them to go. So I got in short. I added another position right here. And again, what did I see? I saw, I think even on the 3-minute as well, a bunch of bearish divergence as they came up here. They did test it once. And then this second test, you can see they came up just slightly higher. You can see how much lower RVI kept getting. Again, I believe my 3-minute was agreeing as well. And I said, let's go ahead and give it a shot. At least I'll get my 2 points down to my moving average, maybe 4 points, 5 points. And if we do get the actual rotation, I'll get a nice sexy trade right out of the open here. Unfortunately, didn't quite get where I wanted it to get to, right? So I got a scalp off, got 4 points off. I got a second position on, got 2 points off of that one, and then it came right against me. And I closed it out without taking any more risk on the trade. So I was able to make some money out of the open, getting these 2 scalps off, and then the market went exactly where we wanted it to. So we get the breakout up through the overnight, the morning high, and then we come right up to, and I'll just zoom out here so you can see the details, or at least see the overarching rotations here, where again we hold first roadmap level out of the open, we come right to the next roadmap level, get the pullback. I was hoping that pullback would be just a little deeper, and then we came up. Now here's another and then came up right to the next roadmap level, where we get our next rotation in the market, right? So on the way up, this right here, if you were looking to kind of jump in on a move, I know Kevin likes to do things where we break out from a VWAP and he gets long, or we break out through a level. This right here, where we break out, pull back, this is kind of a textbook just retracement back to the fast moving average, but we had the resistance from the morning, a whole lot of volume going on in that area of the chart. We're testing the the fast moving average. We have a little bit of bullish divergence. And again, if you bought the level, 61.18, you took 2 ticks of heat, should have been able to get yourself a nice 10-point profit right to the next area of expected resistance. Now, if you missed out on really the only opportunity to buy once the market started to break out through the morning high, you had this picture perfect opportunity here. Of course, I wasn't trading at this point. I already took my money. I made some money the day before. I had a really good week. So I just decided to walk away with my 2 scalps. But you did have a short opportunity from the next roadmap level where once again, it didn't even go through by more than 2 points. This was a 1.5 push through. So if you got short from 28, you got yourself another near 8-point pullback right to where you would want to take your profit. This is how I teach trading. We reject from a level. If we're coming into the 200, especially in what looks to be a pretty strong push, this is most likely going to be where we're going to get a bounce, right? And sure enough, they come down. Now, let me just erase this so you can see the levels clearer. They didn't hold the 200 perfectly. They came right to the close. And basically, this is the level, right? Somewhere in here, putting your entry right between the two, you would have got filled. Again, maybe a point of risk. If you bought the close, you got 1 or 2 ticks of risk and then never came back. So again, beautiful long opportunity, bullish divergence on that major low. I mean, just look at how beautiful that is. If you're seeing this in real time, look, again, whether or not it actually follows through for a 50-point bounce, that's not the point. The point is we're coming into a key level of support. We've got the signal, and we're taking that signal in the direction of the push, right? Sometimes it's just going to flush right through, and that's the nature of trading. But I have the pattern and the level lining up perfectly here. So from there, you get your next bounce out. Starts to get up through the next roadmap level here. So let's zoom this out, take a look, and then starts to kind of find support in that general area once, twice, 3 times. And then eventually we get the pop to the next roadmap level where we get our next pullback. Do you guys see just like, it's like every day we come in, it's like looking at the same stuff over and over again. Reject off a roadmap level, pull back into a moving average, push the next roadmap level, reject from there, push up to the next roadmap level, reject from there. That's why I got short here out of the open with all of my bearish signals. Because for all we know, this could have been a 50-point sell-off from here. And I could have got a full trade on all of my accounts and had a really, really good morning. You just never know at what point are they going to come in and just wash it right off of one of these levels, right? So on the way up, great opportunities to get long. Here's that pullback to the 200 again. Of course, missing it by a tick or two. And then right here, another great long opportunity right off the 200 and the roadmap level, bullish divergence on the double bottom. Again, this was the last move, right? Then it started to breathe in. So you've already got, a scalp to the fast moving average. And again, this is why I tell you, if you're in a trade, better take some profit right here. You never know if you're going to come right to the FMA and go ahead and pull back, right? So there's that. We'll zoom this out. And like I said, just such a picture perfect day with so many good opportunities to get in on the beginning of all these rotations. And I'll go ahead and circle that again because right to the level, bullish divergence, pop. So peters out a little bit. You can see they're starting to play right around 28 and then finally breaks out, comes right into the next roadmap level where you got your bearish divergence on these 3 tests, and then the market fell out from there. Now, if you were looking for the other side, because everything was breaking out, there's that textbook kind of thing that we saw earlier. We get up through the major level, pull back to it, get the bullish divergence, and then break out, right? So if we come all the way back up here, somewhere, we're breaking out. Of course, we're breaking out up into the next roadmap level, which is an expected resistance, and that is where we sold off from. But if you were thinking like in a bull, there's your opportunity. Pull back to the fast moving average, the roadmap level, and the high of the day, right, to the tick in this instance. But if you bought the roadmap level and the fast moving average, again, what'd you take? 3 or 4 ticks of heat? And then you should have at least been able to get a 2-pointer off right to the expected resistance. So you should have been able to scalp it. And then again, your runners never got anywhere. And then we get the pullback where again, we get some rejections right off of the back end. And this to me, if I'm watching this and we come up, we fail off the major roadmap level, we come up and start to find trouble at the next level. Because remember, we kind of get these stair steps. Hold the first one, pull back, hold the next one, pullback. So I kind of was thinking this might be a stair step here, where we come down to the next level, sell off again. You had a double top, you had a big glaring bearish divergence. That would have been a great spot to try a short to see if this was the high of the day for the beginning of the pullback. So another great short. Again, it didn't quite go anywhere, but you should have been able to make money on the trade because you knew to get out at least on your first profit there at 33, giving you your 2-pointer. So again, grabbing 2 points out is nothing. If you capture the top or the bottom of a major rotation, you get the icing on the cake. Again, we test the major level up top here, peak above and fail, bearish divergence. Again, another kind of clue that maybe this is petering out. Would have got yourself a little bit of a scalp. And then again, the bulls defend from around the 200. And then we get the push to new highs for the day. And this is right here, again, another kind of very aggressive trade setup off the fast moving average, bullish divergence. But the question is, if you're seeing this in real time, do you want to play long here? If you do, that would have been the most aggressive trade. But do you want to play it short? It's kind of hard to determine as we're starting to peter out here. Was higher lows, higher highs in this general very small time frame. But I don't know if I would have taken that trade. But either way, that was a bullish divergence. And then you can see this crazy rally here. Now, we had Trump speaking earlier in the day. I don't know if there was any news catalyst to this really strong push as we got closer to the end of the day. But pushed all the way up, and basically you can see every major pullback was off a roadmap level. The first pullback of the day, roadmap level. Second one, roadmap level. Third one, roadmap level. And then finally we push all the way out. Come on, we just kind of like butter went right through that one. And then where do they peter out? Next major roadmap level. This is a major scaffolding level in the market. Whoops, wrong button. This whole thing right here, right, on higher time frames, from here to here, this is where we see higher time frame resistance, right? So it comes down into here, support. We see stuff bounce back and forth right inside of that area. So it's not surprising that at the end of the day, they come right up to it. They reject off of it almost perfectly a bunch of times here, and then you get that one little peek through. Again, that peek through, my friends, it might look like, oh man, it just kind of went right through the level. I mean, that is 51.75, 2 points. 51.75, 53.75, 54. 2 points through, and then right there at the end of the day, just to add another beautiful setup. In the last couple minutes of the day yesterday, they come where they pull back to the 200 moving average, bullish well, actually this wasn't bullish divergence, but right to the 200 and bounce at the end of the day. So there you go, to the tick, got yourself a 2-pointer, and then it closed. That brought us here into the overnight session last night, where you can see rejection, well, basically a support from the roadmap level at 46, right? All through the overnight, holding to the tick on the final test. And a rejection very soon after the open, right off the previous daily close. So you have, again, a chop block here, right inside the 2 levels. Then they break out, test the high from the day before, and now here we are pulling back. Now on this test up here, I was actually watching this when it was happening as we were up here. And I was very tempted as we started breaking lower on this candlestick. I was very, very tempted to throw a short on, throw my stop right above there and see if I could capture a pullback. I just didn't do it, right? And there you have it. I mean, that is, again, this is what I saw in real time. Got it. Basically a double top, although this did peak up a tick. And my RVI was way down here. And then I saw this candle starting to come down and then break the low of the candlestick. So I kind of saw that hook. And I thought it was a little bit ambitious. And I didn't want to throw it on and take a loser and wake up in the morning with a bunch of red on in my accounts. but I would have woke up to green, right? So great kind of pattern there from the high the day before, pulls back, and then there were a couple little opportunities here throughout the overnight. That right there, picture perfect retracement back to the 200 and the close of the day before, bearish divergence, and the pullback, same thing, tested the 200 and the VWAP, bearish divergence, and then finally here, this right here, the divergence is between the two peaks. So notice we come up, pull back, bounce right to it, and when it bounces right back to that level, RVI is way down there, and it starts to hook and break the low of the candlestick. There is the divergence. So another great setup there. And now as we come into the open, while this is going on for a while, 15 minutes, as we come down, look at this. The holy orange power level, which printed at 6 a.m. Eastern, right here, it prints, and then we come right to it, to the tick, just a couple minutes after it prints. Bearish divergence, decent pullback. So you could have got yourself, again, you got your 2-point scalp off, just didn't quite go any further. And now here we are coming to the open, and once again, all night, how many times have we rejected to the tick off this, or close to the tick off that level? First trade of the night, right off of it. Second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time, and here's a sixth time. So let's go ahead and jump